Oh yes, what's going on? Yeah, it's amazing to think about it. So I figured I'm pushing my late 30s and finally check out this thing called anime, or Japanese anime. Now that's kind of crazy to know. When I think back to it, now I think about growing up. Now I think about all these cartoons we watch as kids, especially in America and everything. I'm thinking to myself, all right, so these cartoons, American cartoons, are geared for kids. I'm guessing, right? Or that's the idea concept of it. But it's just crazy to know the older you get, you try to watch some of these. Because me personally, I've never seen my first anime until like I would say mid 20s, and I was thinking maybe that's like a long time ago, basically. So anyway, that's probably a long time ago. But anyway, speaking of all that, so yeah, so I think about the first anime I actually got introduced to was Dragon Ball Z, and I was thinking to myself, man, what is this? What is this anime stuff? Dragon Ball Z. What is Dragon Ball Z, man? Or anyways, an ex coworker was introducing me this because at the time you figure, I guess would it be early mid 2000s, and when you get older, as an adult, you figure yourself, why am I watching cartoons? And then you get introduced to this show, and you're like thinking to yourself, especially after watching Dragon Ball Z for the first time, I'm like, hey man, what is this, man? This is actually some fighting. There's flying and some of this other things. Like, what in the world was I watching as a child when I think about it? But then again, after watching Dragon Ball Z, then I end up watching Dragon Ball, and then I end up watching Dragon Ball GT. Then after that, I probably stopped watching. Well, actually, the first anime and the last anime I haven't seen until recently, until this year. So basically, now it's 2018, and I got a chance to, I don't know exactly, check out anime again, and it's just crazy to know that the view of cartoons, like especially too in the United States, like I got it myself mixed up while I'm doing this live. That's just crazy doing this live and gone mixed up. That's what happens when you can't edit your videos in general. So you gotta go live. But anyways, going live is awesome though. You gotta admit, going live is awesome. You just gotta watch what you say, of course, because like I said, man, you want people to watch your videos. You don't want to turn people off. So in general, I gotta make it presentable. Actually, doing it live presentable enough doing a YouTube video. But anyways. So I figured to start off, since I was talking to another coworker, what anime I should check out, because some people, the way they explain it makes you kind of curious, so you end up checking out your first anime. So I went with this anime called Kill la Kill, and I'm thinking of first thing that tripped me out was obviously the way the character is dressed in the anime. I'm thinking of, okay, people don't dress like this in real life, but to see that in an anime, and just thinking of, man, I gotta admit though, these people in Japan creating this anime, man, they're kind of crazy. But then again, like they said, to find out that they got no limits compared to here in America when they do, cartoons. I mean, yes, you could say maybe The Simpsons were bad. Actually, I don't know. Maybe The Simpsons were bad. Oh, I'm sorry, Family Guy or some of these other shows like South Park. And then when you see an anime, you're like, all right, regardless of how bad Family Guy was or South Park's bad or whatever, if you think South Park's bad or whatever, and then you see an anime, you're like, okay, this is nothing compared to what you see in an anime, man. I mean, it's funny because I just recently watched, what was it, The Incredibles, and I was thinking to myself, I get it, it's not geared for me. Actually, it's geared for little kids, but this got to be pretty boring. I mean, besides Jack's performance in Incredibles 2, it was pretty generic and boring, and I was probably falling asleep, and I was like making myself, oh my god, I think watching all this anime kind of like ruined my perception on American cartoons, or try to enjoy cartoons, considering you figure, like they said, American cartoons in general, the way they're geared for like the younger crowd in general. You figure what under teenagers basically. You think about how old you're actually watching this, you're like things up, yep, this is ruined. So speaking of all that, man, I'm thinking about, man, actually doing this video live, man, it would have been nice if I could actually edit this a lot better. Or actually, I can't edit a live video, but besides that, man, it's just crazy, checking it out, and I'm like thinking about, man, figuring out all the things they can do in anime, and especially too after seeing some of the animes I've seen. I was thinking about, after seeing that, I mean, considering a majority of the anime I've seen are dub. I mean, I've seen some in English subtitle, considering there's so many anime, but then a lot of the anime I've seen is in dub, which which is hard because I'm still haven't figured out my top 10. Me personally, my top 10 anime, personally, my favorite anime in general. I got a top 6 anime, and I figured I'll just go 6 to 1, considering I've seen enough anime, but it's kind of hard because I figured it depends what you like in general. Because I was watching other people's YouTube channels, or a lot of other people's YouTube channels, views of different animes, and see if it's good or not, or bad or whatever. Thinking, like they said, if you've seen enough anime, I guess depending on what you like and stuff, you come up with your favorite list. Because I was watching, was it the Black Critic guy, and he was talking about his five favorite anime that he liked that nobody else liked. And it's funny because his top five anime, there's two of them I actually do like. Now, zombies, what was it again? Oh, I'm sorry. High School of the Dead, about the zombies. Actually, you know, like I said, besides all the fan service, which is weird to know what fan service is. I mean, especially to the idea of this, you know, I thought it was not bad. You know, I liked it. High School of the Dead, and then he brought up Agami Got Killed, and I was thinking, man, this is probably my favorite anime actually. And it's funny, you know, I was watching this other YouTube. I forget who's this other YouTuber, but you know, I just seen how he totally ripped the show down, and I was thinking in my head, man, I'm pretty sure, I'm starting to think to myself, man, if anybody's seen like Game of Thrones, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people in anime that didn't like Game of Thrones, I'm guessing, but maybe that's just me. But besides that, you know, because I figured after him saying Agami Got Killed, I was thinking to myself, yeah, that was my favorite anime personally, because I was thinking to myself, I just started watching anime this year in general, and I was thinking to myself, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't really go to my list. Let's go to my actual list anyways. I went through 6 to 1 basically. Let's start off with 6. This is in I'm gonna say it in English because I've watched majority of my anime in English dub. Because me personally, I like English dub because for me, what you call it, I multitask. So I basically watching anime and playing video games at the same time. I know sometimes you don't really pay attention, or actually, well, it depends. But you know, for me personally, that's the way I watch my anime anyway. So I watching an anime and I'm playing video games at the same time. So that's kind of crazy. So speaking of that, let's go 6 to 1. So I got, for me personally, I got Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon? Now, by that title alone, you would think that this is probably a real fan service anime, I'm guessing. Which is pretty much not. It's a little RPGs and kind of deal. But yeah, I like it. So I'm going to go 5. So 5, I'm going to go with an anime which I don't get. It's going on its second movie, but only has 1 season, which is Trinity 7. Yeah, I'm guessing too much nudity, I'm guessing. So I'm guessing I don't understand how a show like High School DxD gets like almost a 5th season when Trinity 7 has only 1 season and has somehow it's going on his second movie. What's going on there in Japan? I don't know, it's crazy. So I go with that, and then 4 I'm going to go with Shibuya of the Feld Knight. Now Shibuya of the Feld Knight, man, I thought that was an interesting anime, and it's funny because when that show came out, there was this other show called Asterisk Wars, which I did like Asterisk Wars, and it was funny. I was watching this other YouTuber just totally trashing it, and like I said, it's, you know, on people's opinion, but I thought Asterisk Wars was pretty good, but you know, compared to Shibuya Fairy Night, you know, maybe Shibuya Fairy Night is actually better. But besides that, that would be 4. And then in 3, I would figure out what we got. 3. Figure 3, I would get. Let's see what I got here at 3. Shibuya Fairy Night 3. Oh, Unbreakable Machine Doll. Yeah, Yaya. That's crazy. Y'all love Yaya. I gotta admit though, the way anime is, it's weird because one thing I think about it, the characters all look the same. Like, I don't know, it seems like every single show I've seen either a guy character, a male character or a female character look similar in every other anime I've seen, which is weird. Like, you know, they don't have the same personality, but they're like drawled out the same. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, I think I've seen the same character in like 4 or 5 other animes. It's kind of strange when I think about it. But anyways, yeah, story of Yaya in Unbreakable Machine Doll. So that was kind of crazy. 2, Asterisk Records of a Bastard Magical Instructor. Man, I like it, man. Glenn Radars, man, he's crazy, man. You know, idea. You know, just crazy idea of magic, since a lot of anime has magic. Because I was watching somebody's review on this show, and this thing is up. It's something you haven't seen before. I'm thinking to myself, man, I gotta admit, man, since there is so much anime, it's hard to tell if you've seen this before or not, but then I liked it. And number 1, I've gone with Agami Got Killed because it is that Game of Thrones vibes kind of deal. That, yes, maybe they're right. Maybe telling a correct story, it is not right to kill off a bunch of characters, but hey, it depends their viewpoint, and I figured out it's like good. But besides that, man, out of all that, though, those are my favorite animes. But in my personal opinion, the best anime I've seen so far, I definitely gotta go with Death Note. I mean, that's probably the best anime so far I've seen so far. I mean, I try to watch some of these other animes, man. I just, you know, try to watch Cowboy Bebop, which to most other anime people, this is in like their top 10 favorite animes of all time list. And I was thinking to myself, all right, I seen the first episode, so the first episode was not bad. Then after that, the next 10, 11 episodes, I'm thinking to myself, man, I don't know, maybe for me personally, then again, I guess because I grew up watching a lot of Gang and Hood movies, so I don't know, maybe Cowboy Bebop got ruined because of that, after watching like too many Gang and Hood movies, so I don't know. But so watching Cowboy Bebop, and I was thinking to myself, man, I don't see anything special about the anime in general, but then maybe it's just me personally. But like I said, I guess everybody has a different opinion on that anime, so like I said, that's in a lot of people's top 10. So I'm trying to watch some of these other anime that's in you know, a lot of people's top 10 now. Like they said, I think, what was it? I forgot what the other guy was talking about, because he was doing a thing about the most influenced anime in Japan, and it's trippy to know that I was looking at the list because he was talking about that list, and I realized I only seen maybe 4 or 5 of those shows in the top list of Japan, or influence of Japan's anime kind of deal, or they consider, you know, their favorite, their 100 top influence anime. Maybe he said it wrong or something, but that's the way I looked at it. So besides that, man, that's why I was thinking of, after watching all this anime though, especially like I said, I only started really watching anime like the ending of January of this year of 2018, basically. So the end of January 2018 to now, I've seen anime almost every single day. And you know, I think about, before I started watching anime, I was thinking about, you know, some of the shows I've watched, you know, like Family Guy, South Park, you know, some of those older cartoons I used to watch as a growth child, and compared to anime, I'm like, yeah, I can't tell. What's worse is I didn't realize, what was that one? The Last Airbender. Yeah, Avatar: Last Bender. I didn't realize that was done in the United States, man. It's hard to believe that's not an anime. Right? But besides that, man, it's kind of crazy. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, YouTube. I guess I'm out of here. We out.